Hey there everybody, Mazarok here, and welcome! This is the Fun Tank Tier List review for Season 3, and Season 3 review. So I'm going to kind of talk about the tanks a little bit. I kind of wanted to do two videos, but I figured combining these two into one would actually be a lot better, because fun is subjective, and it's based on how you did in the season, how much you played in the season, you know, and things like that, right? And let's get this out there. This tier list is going to look different for everyone, right? Because, I mean, I know a lot of people have a lot more fun on different specs and things like that. So, and that's completely fine. But we're going to kind of review Season 3 a little bit, tank by tank, and kind of review where I found they ended up on the fun meter, or my fun meter, if you so would. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. I am just absolutely blown away at how quickly we've gotten 4K. Just absolutely at 4K, dude. Oh my god. Words are hard today. 2,800 subs. We're climbing to 3K so incredibly quickly. Thank you so much for all the support. There is a key review link down below, a Patreon link down below if you wish to support me directly, as well as a Discord if you want to continue any of this bit of the conversation in Discord, as well as a Twitch link down below. With Season 4 coming around, you're going to be seeing me stream a lot. On top of that, my youngest kid starts school in September, so free time for stream! Do some little bit of morning keys and things like that. But yeah, so this is where my fun tank tier list ended up. So I kind of went through it a little bit, and I've got the gist of what I remember saying and things like that. So let's go review. So here is the tank tier list on tier list maker, whatever have you not.com. This is how I had it set up. So first of all, blood. How fun is it this season? I had it rated S tier fun. Now, no one can deny that Blood has been an S tier tank all season. With the tier set being as absolutely monstrously good as it is, they are an S tier tank. But for fun, I found that by the end of the season, I actually had more fun on Season 1 and 2 DK than I did Season 3 DK, Blood DK. And the reason why is Blood DK became all about Dancing Rune Weapon Heartstrike spam, which, don't get me wrong, is fun, but it lost a lot of the flow and the nuance and the technicality of its spec and kind of what made it fun for me in previous seasons. I know it's better now than it was in previous seasons, but it lost that little edge, right? Because that whole thing of you may die at any moment, you could get global if you don't play correctly. The on edge of I have to heal properly, I have to manage my rune power properly. Now we're just overflowing in runic power. It's still very, very fun. I just found that, to me, it lost a little bit of its edge. No denying it's an S tier tank, though. Like, if we're talking about what kind of tank it is, this is where it is, right? For fun, I found it kind of lost out a little bit. Vengeance. Now, this was when I had really kind of first gotten into Vengeance. The 4-piece I had just gotten, and I was just all hyped about it. To me, it actually kind of started losing out. Its single target deficiency was kind of whatever, but that's not a big problem, because still one of the most fun aspects of this game with Vengeance is just mass pulling things and just healing like crazy and being able to never die and just going crazy, getting those failed dev resets. That's a lot of fun, but the problem is that fun is insanely niche in Mythic Plus. You can only pull so much, you can only pull so big, and you can only do that so often in a few dungeons, right? So the more that I played it, started losing some of that fun appeal after a while. I still thoroughly enjoy it, but I'm going to go with solid B tier for me. Right? Solid B. Nothing wrong with it. I love picking it up. I love playing it. But the times where I have the most amount of fun on Vengeance is some of the most fun I have on tanking. Is just the mass pulling and just like soul bombs going out like crazy and just absolutely going wild is one of the funnest tanking experiences that you can have, and I highly suggest you try it. The problem is how often that occurs, and it's not very often. Luckily, Gambit came in this season, which really was nice, but I mean, like, Necrotic Wake Halls and Gambit are, like, really the only three that you can really go ham with this. And I think what hurt my fun for Vengeance this season, because in all honesty, I'd say they're probably an A tier tank right now. Like, they're fine. Their single target hurts, but the amount of AoE they're capable of doing can definitely offset that. And every tank needs different niches, right? What dungeons we had available. If every dungeon had more pulls like Necrotic Way, Calls of Atonement, and Gambit, this would definitely still be up here. Unfortunately, with the dungeons made available to us, and like streets, you're always pulling small things like that. Like, are not small, but definitely not big. Like Gambit, you pull big. Necrotic Wake, that first pull, you pull big, right? And then you have a couple of really big pulls start the dungeon, which just an absolute blast. But the niche dungeons, unfortunately, don't make up for how often I have to play and have fun with this. Up next is Brewmaster. Brewmaster, still solid A tier. The tanking with Brewmaster all season. This is the first season that I actually did any sort of pushing with a leather tank. I ended up getting my 3k with Brewmaster fairly easily. Just pumping dungeons, having a lot of fun. I honestly think the tier set works really, really well with in tandem with it. I rated a little bit of Mythic, got a couple of bosses down with it. And just the amount of like sheer utility that I wasn't used to having Brewmaster. Because, I mean, Paladin, you guys see me play a lot of, but the 3 plate tanks were the ones that I had really played the most, right? Before. Blood DK has some great utility, but, I mean, we're not talking Brewmaster level of how good it can be, right? Mass Grip is amazing, but being able to Ring of Peace your necrotic stacks away is absolutely amazing. You have off heals, you have so many different things that you can do with Brew that Prop Pal does off healing better. But I find the amount of crazy utility Brewmaster has is just better. But Blood DK and Prot Warrior are lacking in that crazy amount of utility department versus Monk, right? Because you can para-kick with Brewmaster, really kind of control things with Ring of Peace, use it to kite, leg sweep. You have so many fun tools. And I'm hesitant to put this up in the S tier, but it is definitely in my solid A tier. I think for fun, I'm going to say Brewmaster is probably a little bit more fun than BDK for me on like a day-to-day. I definitely have more fun spikes with Blood. The whole I'm healing for 40k HPS with Blood in certain pulls definitely gets my heart pumping. But that, again, we're talking a little bit more niche scenarios, where Brewmaster, I find I can do fairly competitive damage with Blood. I find it's a little bit more evened out, like Blood spikes a lot harder, but with Brew, you're just kind of always dealing good competitive damage, single target AoE, and Ox is a lot of fun. I really fell in love with Weapons of Order. A lot of fun stuff with Brew. I'm going to say that is quickly become there. Prot Pally, as you guys know, was supposed to be my main going into the season. Unfortunately, they were just kind of falling over from time to time in raid, and the amount of damage that was coming out, especially with the difficulty level of the difficulty level of Prot Paladin. No, the difficulty level of Sepulchre, the first ones, kind of made me change some things. But as well, I had mained Prot Paladin 9.1.5 going into 9.2. And I kind of started getting over it, and the strength of the tier set wasn't enough to keep carrying it, as all 5 other tanks for me started getting to be more fun, and their tier sets made things more enjoyable. Which is funny, because I think Prot Pally had the most amount of synergy with double legendaries in tier set, from kind of all gaining the theory crafted on paper, right? Now we know the synergies between some of these is a lot better than we had anticipated, but on paper, when you were looking at it, everybody had Prot Pally in S tier, and I still think it's a fantastic tank. It's very fun. The amount of off-healing that you can do. Hand of the Protector is a fantastic talent choice to take. Judgment of Light will actually end up dealing a lot of healing that'll kind of help stabilize a little bit throughout the run. But it kind of quickly became a B tier tank for me for fun. I still enjoy it, I still have fun, but it's definitely not on my radar as much as it used to be. And that's kind of where it ended up. I think I'm only at 2,900 on my Prot Pally, where I started focusing on the other 3. I ended up getting 3k on 3 tanks this season, and Prot Pally was not one of them, although it could have been had I actually focused on it a little bit more, but I didn't. I kind of play with fun. That's my goal. If I'm not having fun, what's the point? But it's a tank, and I still had a lot of fun on it. I just think it kind of dropped off for me. Nothing wrong with it, but it just kind of ended up being what it's being. Now, if you guys have watched this channel at all for a long time, you guys know that Bear has not been my favorite tank. I have been more willing to run Bear keys this season than any other season. I think the strength of the tier set with Ventier Bear and getting more incarns, with the reduction of those combined, to me has been an absolute blast. And if you've watched any of my Great Vault videos, you've probably noticed that I have 2 options most of the time on my Bear, because I'm actually willing to play it and want to play it a lot. Now, have I been pushing on Bear? No. If I'd be in 20s and 20 pluses on my Bear, would I still think this is as fun? Who knows? We just don't know, because I didn't do it. I kind of stayed between the 15 to 17 ratio for this, but man, I think one of the things that clicked with me when we learned the power of pretty early on in the season was I was into Halls of Atonement, and literally all of my incarns coming off on cooldown exactly when I needed them for like crazy big pulls. Dude, I was having fun. Like this, oh my god. I have had more fun on Bear this season than I've had on Bear on any other season. Unfortunately, I think a lot of that is with the relics, and we are losing the relics, so that's going to suck. I am going to make another fun tank tier list as time goes on. But, I mean, it's a solid tank. It can soothe, which, by the way, that alone, being able to soothe where the other 5 tanks can't, is so nice in dungeons. If you're going healer affinity, resto affinity, or whatnot, putting down an Ursol's Vortex and just running away to Kite makes things crazy easy once a minute to, get rid of necrotic stacks or anything like that. And still to this day, Bear is the only tank that I have managed to get 99 stacks of necrotic on. Yep, 99 stacks of necrotic. Incarn, baby. Now, when Incarn ran out, you saw me shit my pants. But 99 stacks of necrotic, and I still lived. But I really started liking Bear a lot more, and I kind of hope that they do something a little bit better with it. But, I mean, this is a fun tank tier list. This isn't a tier list for, placement, but it's also a Season 3 review where kind of things, ended up for me and things like that. Now, the last one here, Prot Warrior. Okay, when we started Prot Warrior in Season 3, it was Kyrian, right? Kyrian, the tier set, things weren't meshing so well, but then we discovered the power of Necrolord. And I started seeing more people run Necrolord and just saying how fun it is. And holy fuck, bud, let me tell you what. I love Prot Warrior Necrolord. Oh my god, it is fun. Now, it requires crazy amounts of focus. It requires minor cases of carpal tunnel in most of your fingers and hands and arms because you are pressing so many buttons a minute. It's actually ridiculous while trying to keep track of so many things. This is not something you can just pick up and just be like, okay, I get this. There are so many things to track with Banner, stacks of Ignore Pain, Shield Block. Made things even added a level of complexity where you wanted to bank a bunch of rage right when died, so that way you could just spam shield block and get 45 seconds of shield block up with just by kind of reducing your rage while revenge spamming while Banner was up, and having an outburst proc of shield slam to be able to get go from 90 to 100 rage and just hit shield block a bunch. And if you did it right, you could end up with 40 seconds of shield block during that 10-second window. Absolutely beyond fun with tons of little nuances. Now, am I biased here? Absolutely. You guys have watched this channel. To anyone who's watched this channel for a while, you guys know my love for Prot Warrior. You guys know that I love to rage at, just everything. But you guys know the love that I have for Prot Warrior. It was the first tank that I ever tanked KSM on. And that's in Shadowlands Season 1 when, they were bad. When 1% of the tank population played Prot Warrior in keys. And they really weren't good. You know what I mean? And I still did it, and I still loved it. And I still love it now. And honestly, with the new changes to Ignore Pain, the adding of the extra 30% absorb, so it's going to be 85% absorb, but they are changing how many stacks you have and how it stacks and things like that, so we're going to have to see how good it is. But honestly, I've chosen Prot Warrior as my main going into Season 4. Like, that's kind of, I'm going back to that. I'm ending Shadowlands on where I started. Prot Warrior, baby. But no, Necrolord has made things incredible fun with the banner upkeep and playing aggressively, and just the more aggressively that you play, the more rage that you generate, the more rage that you spend, and with anger management, you're just reducing avatar and shield wall down. Like, with I've gotten 45-second shield walls, like, you know, just crazy banks of just let's go. And if you've seen me on stream, like banner has definitely been something that you've heard. I need that as an emote. Banner. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and do that and make that into an emote. But yeah, no. So this is where I think I'm ending up on kind of my keys on my fun list, and I think that's fair. I think that's fair because this is a review of my season, right? This, to you, is going to be different than it is for me. Some of you are going to argue that Prot Pally's S tier for fun, and you're not wrong. You're not. It's a fun tank tier list. But this is where I found it ended up with how the season kind of ended with Season 3. To me, has been literally the best season. Well, the relics have been the best seasonal affix of Shadowlands, and again, personal opinion there. I know some people that don't like it, but I know so many that absolutely love it. And the fact that we're losing and Woe as options, even Vi, man, and 15% haste is nice for 45 seconds, especially on a lot of the tanks nowadays, is gonna feel terrible. But I mean, we're gonna get a major stat boost with the other one, but it is kind of a lazier, more relaxed affix. You kill a thing, you gain a buff, keep going, killing things, gaining more buffs. The amount of haste that you're going to end with in the keys coming out, or the amount of stat, whatever one you choose. I know Prot Warrior is probably going to be haste and or verse. Well, haste or verse. I think I'm going to start my 15s with going haste because I want to experience what it's like having stupid haste all the time. Just permanent bloodlust. Let's go! But yeah, so I think this is where it ended up because Prot Warrior snuck up, dude. I did not think I was going to be playing Prot Warrior at all or much this season. I did not expect to get 3k on Prot Warrior this season, and I did not expect Necrolord to be as fun as it is. Now, I'm also going to make another argument for Necrolord plate wearers, but Necrolord Prot. Dude, that plate set for Necrolord is one of the most gorgeous ones in the game. Look, I know I'm a metalhead. You can look at me. I'm wearing a no-pass shirt, bandana, beard, hair, the whole shebang. I'm a metalhead. Bone, spikes, dark gray, all of it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And you have every right to choose your own opinion on this one, but that is what it is, right? All in all, Season 3, incredibly fun. Absolutely incredibly fun. I would, like, you know, if I have to generalize what this tier list would look like, everything would be ARS tier. Like, just blanket across the board. Because at the end, I love tanking. Tanking's fun. It's what I love doing. And all the tanks, if I had to, like, if they said we're taking all tank specs out of the game, and we're only leaving you one, and, like, they're picking, you don't have a choice, I'd be happy that I could tank on any single one of them. Like, I'm that person that would still be happy that, alright, there's still tank spec, let's go. I don't care if it's Bear, I don't care if it's Warrior, I don't care if it's Brew, I'm just happy to be tanking. And that's kind of where this season has been. I've just been happy tanking keys and having fun. You know, 20s to I've been doing 22s, 20s, and all of that, and I've just been feeling so good going into them, being able to play the massively different playstyles that were afforded to us with the double legendaries and the tier sets, all combined, really changed how all of these played going from Season 2 to Season 3. An absolute blast, and I see this trend kind of continuing. We'll see what I think. So in a couple of weeks after Season 4, where I've gotten to play every tank in at least a couple of keys, I'm going to put my fun tank tier list up again for Season 4, see where it ends up, kind of talk where I think, and we'll do another Season 4 preview, or preview for fun and things like that. And of course, what do you think are yours? We'll review that after. But what's your fun tank tier list? What has been your S tank tier for fun? Again, this is purely subjective. Nobody's wrong. Put that down in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. I would because even at that, I put out a poll on my community on YouTube, and unfortunately, I only had 5 options, so I had to lump a bunch of the tanks together, and like 500 of you voted, and it was basically like 33% across the board. There are a lot of people playing a lot of different tanks this year, and I love to see it. I love to see it. So many people being good and playing the game at whatever tank spec they want to play at and main and have fun. So let's go. Let's have fun. What is yours? I would love to hear it down in the comment box below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I hope you guys are excited for Season 4 as I am. Have yourselves a good day.